Hello and welcome to a Math Minute, a quick how-to over a topic that's been troubling you. The topic for this video is matrix multiplication. How do you multiply two matrices together? Now when you multiply matrices, the size of the matrices matters in a very unique and specific way. And so here's what we're looking for. I'll highlight here in this text. Matrix A has to be in M by N, and matrix B has to be N by P. Then the product of A and B is going to be M times or by P. The idea is that we need some dimensions to match, these two numbers here to match. So let me explain how that works down here on this example problem, this matrix product. So the first thing I always do is I'm going to check the size. So this first matrix on the left, it is a 2 by 2 matrix. And the matrix here on the right is a 2 by 3 matrix. So what I'm looking for is the inner dimensions to be the same. If those numbers are the same, then you can multiply these matrices together. If those numbers are not the same, you can't do this product, okay? So here, the example we're going to do, they are the same, so we can proceed. What we do is we just remove those numbers. And the dimensions that are left over, in this case 2 by 3, is going to be the size of our product. So I need to open up a matrix here that is large enough to fit 2 rows and 3 columns. Now, when I do this product, I like to do some labeling on my matrices. It just helps me keep everything straight. So what I'm going to do is, since I'm keeping rows on this dimension, I'm going to circle the rows. I'm going to go ahead and label them. Row 1, row 2. And then this larger matrix on the right side, I'm keeping columns. So I'm going to go ahead and circle the columns. And I'm going to go ahead and label those. I'm going to label those column 1, column 2, column 3. Now, my answer is going to have 2 rows and 3 columns. Now, as I begin the process of multiplying these, I'm just going to start with the first entry right here of the product. This first entry is going to be found in row 1 and column 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the numbers in row 1 over here and all the numbers in column 1, and we're going to multiply and add those together in a very specific way. So what we're going to do for, let me do it up here, for row 1, column 1, is I'm going to take the first entry of each row and column, 3 and 5. I'm going to multiply those together, and then I'm going to add to that the product of the second number of each of those, which are 2 and negative 1. So that's going to be 15 plus negative 2, which is 13. Okay, I'm going to do the same process for the other entries. So next one, I'm going to stay in row 1, and I'm going to move over to column 2. So I'm going to do the math right here for row 1, column 2. So stay in the top row, go to the middle column. I'm going to take the first numbers and I'm going to multiply those. 3 times negative 2. And then I'm going to take the second numbers and I'm going to multiply those. So 2 times 3. So we have negative 6 plus 6, which is 0. And I'm going to complete row 1. So I'm going to stay in row 1, but I'm going to move over to column 3. So staying here in the top row, move over to column 3. I'm going to start with the first numbers, which are 3 and 3. So we have 3 times 3 plus, and then move to the second numbers, 2 times 2. That's going to be 9 and 4, which is 13. Now I'm just going to repeat all of that for row 2. So I'm now done with this top row. I'm going to move down here to 4, 0, and I'm going to multiply times the first row, second row, third row. If you want to pause the video and try that on your own, go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and just really quickly work through those and put those answers there. So So we're going to have 20, -8, and 12. Okay, that's all for this Math Minute. It was a little longer than normal, but this is a little bit harder process and topic than normal, some of these Math Minutes. If you found this content helpful, please give the video a thumbs up to support the channel. If you have any comments or questions, or if you have any other topics you'd like to suggest for a future Math Minute, please leave them in the comments section below. Thank you very much.